It's the 20th of December. We're out in the New Forest by the restored reach on the Highland Water, which is experiencing some quite extensive flooding, which is quite exciting. To try and give you some context, especially if you know the area, normally the main channel comes around over here on the left, swings round this corner just by this log here, then rounds this corner here, goes between these two trees, and then turns sharply round to the left before going underneath this log jam here. So this whole area around my feet, this channel disappearing off here, this is all normally floodplain. And then over here, this whole area to the right is all inundated floodplain. And what's particularly interesting in the context of the log tagging study that we're doing out here is how fast the water is moving across this piece of floodplain here. Back in the first year of the study, we had a lot of logs move from this area, and we thought that it was just going to be too high. It was just that wouldn't get the depth of water. And while that's true to an extent, the water isn't very deep, what's important to note is how quickly it's moving across this floodplain. So it's not hard to imagine that just with a slightly deeper flow, given the speed that this is coming across, that it could easily move some of these logs. And the one that gave us the most problems in the interpretation was this one that's just lying here. Now, the reason that one confused us is because the river channel disappears between these two trees here. It comes along, turns a sharp turn through there, and we couldn't figure out, well, I couldn't figure out how this log had just shunted itself across the floodplain perpendicular to the channel. It just seemed quite counterintuitive. But now you see the way that the water's moving, the direction of the flow across here, it's really easy to imagine how this big log could just be floated slightly, and then the force of the water would just carry it along the floodplain. And actually it's only this tree here that stopped it moving. And if we didn't have that tree, we could quite conceivably see this log here setting off across the floodplain and just shooting off into the distance at great speed.